Hello, friends. We complete our little short course, and today we will talk about the final topic where we try to conclude and integrate our elements of understanding negation in perspective of the middle idea of the middle. Yes, and finally, our topic is topic about the totality. Dialectic, it is thinking where we already captured the reality, captured by something and exist in something. And we have awareness in sphere where we can't catch the limits of sphere where we exist. For example, this world. It is like very simple illustration, this totality. We not find the limits and definitions and lines where, oh, it is the end of the world. Uh, we always uh, we always have situation when we only part of something another. And the totality, it is one aspect of the thinking according with the dialectical approach. And other elements, dialectical way of thinking, it is always where we exist in totality and awareness, the same station. And after that, it is a situation where we have a exclusion. Yes, when we have a situation when one totality exclude, accept, and negate another radically. And like a formula, it is of course formal approach, but traditional approach, for example, in materialistic dialectic, we use it. It is unity and struggle of opposites. Opposites, it is different part of wholeness, but we can't catch the both opposites. We can only move through the opposites, and always we think, oh, it's whole, but it is not so. It is the situation, usual situation when we have a mystical story, fantasy maybe story, where we have a situation with the evil mag, how to say correctly, magic world, like illusion. And we think that it's reality. For example, like Matrix film, I mean. Yes, it is happen only in our mind, but we think that it is really so. It is like how it worked when we was captured by um, part of reality. Because if we will use the situation of the magic world, like illusion or matrix, we know that exists something or what we name illusion and reality, something what we can name like copy and original. But both world, it is only parts, or we can say opposites, right? It is opposites, but we can have awareness only one part. In dialectic, it is dialectic of working and development totality, and how our thinking work in this totality. Only when we captured by this totality, we can develop our self-consciousness and awareness. Dialectic way, it is way how we can understand that it is not whole reality, it is only part. It is not wholeness, it is only part, one of the parts. Okay, and in other elements we have told it is talking about unity parts, but it is element with a struggle. It is parts what we can say uh, without any integration. We can't to hold in one moment, but we can't in the same moment. We can't exclude one to another. it's paradox and very intensive tension when we try to thinking in this way. That's why dialectic way of thinking, and it is very intensive way of life, yes, of feeling. That's why, like usual theory or science, for example, yes. Okay. Mm, but it is usual traditional definition. It is not so, but in dialectical approach, when we, I mean, more correctly, it is approach of Engels and Marx, one of the laws of dialectic, yes, unity and struggle of opposites. But finally, we will try explain this traditional metaphor, and by that express the main idea of this topic by a metaphor of the mirror, because according with our approach, mirror, it's really very expressive form. It's really mirror, and how mirror reflect the things. It is the form of working dialectical negation. It is realization dialectical, or we can say more correctly speculative, in the first meaning what we told in first lecture, yes? Dialectical speculative negation, and by that contradiction, dialectical contradiction. It's very important. And how it works? You remember the very ancient metaphor yin and yang. And here, of course, we too find the effect of mirror, where one side of opposition transform in another, but formally it's the same. Because if we will see this form without, for example, colors, it will be the same. Cycle, okay, and cycle here, and the same form here, the same. Only little features here and here by colors show us that it is not the same. It is something controversial, something principal another. Okay, it's mirror, yes, mirror. And it's mean that we transform the essence when we move through the mirror. Yes, that's why the mirror, it is the sphere to the another world. If we will use, for example, traditional and cultural representations. Okay, I repeat it again, it's very important. But we not catch in wholeness it. We can catch only part, and we will think that it is whole. It is all elements, all reality. And for us, all reality will only this. It's very important. But what happened? What really happened when we will catched by the part? And we always so. We always already catched by the part of the reality. After that, we, according with the dialectical approach, we will develop these content. We will dive to the deepest line, but not all of us usually do it. We usually stand on one of the different position. But if you're really a radical subject, you really want to be freedom, yes, you want to have the freedom, you will move deeper and deeper, again and again, and only in the final point where you will touch the ground of the part of reality, you will, with you will happen something strange. Something strange, because According with the dialectical approach, you will open the new reality. It will be another principally reality. It will be something new within new laws. And you will find new reality, what I mean. This reality, for example, yes. It's happened here. It's like horizon of events in physics, right? You transform it. Okay, but we will not talk about physics, but we will talk about metaphysics more currently, because this is line of mirror. It is a line between the our world and another. That's why opposites reality, another reality, it is two, something, another. Of course, you must hold in your mind that, oh, my explanation, it is metaphorical, it is different metaphors, right? It is metaphorical way of explanations, yes. And we, again, must to dive, again, more and more, deeper and deeper. And again, we will find something in some point where we will find the same what was here. It's a cycle. It is cycle, and this way, it's way of usual feeling and having the experience of self-understanding. This way, like a cycle of self-understanding, because it is the where when we return to the beginning, yes, it's cycle, but it is not stupid cycle about what we have taught in the first lecture. It another cycle, it is cycle of understanding, because this returning, it is returning not in the same position. No, it is returning with to the new position. We return to the another point. We return to the another reality. It is principal radical transformation of our vision in new reality. It is revolution in understanding. It is revolution in the reality. But it is cycle. And dialectic, that's why was named, for example, by Bakunin, and not only him, for example, Marx too, like a logic of revolution. Logic of revolution is mean that this logic of working radical activity. It is working of our consciousness and our spirit in the reality, but radical way of transformation, myself and reality in the same moment. That's why we find here cycle of radical transformation, revolution. Okay, but if we want to represent the main idea, but my main goal it is explain, yes, like a teacher, my position, that's why I try to find the metaphor, and I use the mirror for this. Okay, you remember my first slide of first lecture where I use these. If I try to hold both experiences, different experiences, radical different experiences, in wholeness, I will use these I, yes? The first I, it is first wholeness for me, but not in itself. But first experience, how haben, according with Hegel, or hold part of the first reality and move to the another, hold another, and return to the first. It is new reality, thesis, antithesis, And of course, this line, it's new reality. It will be new thesis for the another position. It is synthesis. If we will use traditional notions of dialectic. Okay, it is the way for explanations. But where here the mirror, right? Okay, I try to show you. Maybe you remember the little riddle about what I have told in some lectures, how you can change and how you can, I would say, transform, transform the ball, for example, yes, how you can extract the center and change the position, internal and external. But you not you can't, you should not use the knife. What need to do? If it mirror this line, it's mirror line. You need only show this ball on mirror, and mirror will reflect so that you will achieve your goal according with the conditions of this riddle. How it works? For example, this point, it is left, yes, and if we will stay from that side, okay, we have told this line, it's line of definition, development of the content and essence of some phenomenon. Yes, but what happened after that? You remember it's mirror, right? What we mean when we talk about the unity from what we start, yes, unity and struggle opposition, we have told it's idea of the mirror. We will explain it idea by the metaphor of the mirror. Okay, and now I try to show you, and if we will continue with the previous, yes, idea, it will be here. This is code idea that it is always, when we talk about objective transformation, we will and can talk about the transformation of the experience. That's why it will be always like of development, our self-consciousness, transformation, our self-consciousness, identity. Okay, but now we return to the objective vision, and we talked about ontological vision of development, some content in some phenomena. Okay, we transform its process of development, its process of negation, some elements, and state, yes, we can say so, put, yes, or set controversial content. I state it here and put it here because I negate another. Okay, I develop it, I have this positive content, but what happened here? You remember it's middle. You will find the effect of reflection, yes, and you will find objectivation. You will find new phenomenon if we talk about the objective vision, right? Ontological, without the subjective experience of these processes. Okay, we find the new object, but it is controversial. It's opposite. But formally, it is the same. Formally, it is ball and it's two ball. But radically, it is not so. Okay, what we can do here? We find here the element where formally what was external started like internal, yes? What was internal will external. And after that, we will find here new content But I return your mind to the idea of metaphor of mirror. What happened by this reflection in mirror? We will change the sides. And the same part with the meaning A will transform the same part, will transform the meaning B. Or more concretely, we can say will be like thesis and antithesis. Yes, antithesis, I'm sorry. So here it is. I remember it's only metaphor, right? It is side will be left, but here it will be right. Radical transformation of the essence of this phenomenon. But formally, we will see how we will think. We will see the same. Because we usually think that these controversial phenomena is like external phenomena. This line we usually see like external line without integration. We usually see controversial sites without this internal potentiality about unity what exists in this phenomenon. We not find that in one part exists already another part, and that's why they develop exist. But when we talk about these elements, and mirrors show us how we transform these sides on controversial. It's radical vision of the dialectical contradiction in contrast with the formal contradiction. Yes. And if we will include in here process subjective experience, we will find here the same scheme like we will do it here. This integration we'll find an object, we will embodiment like new thesis, yes, like new position. That's why again and again we will find radical way of the development. Okay, what we mean if we will use not the metaphor and schemes, but if we will use the more simple examples in culture and another usual our life, for example, mass culture, yes. We usually remember that copy, it is not original. And the same idea here we find, because very interesting that we know it. And in our culture, usually we feel a little bit fear to our copy. Yes, we think that it is something another. For example, it's me, it's my copy. Yes, I feel the fear to this because the my copy exclude me. But what important for us here? Formally, the same man, the same situation maybe, but what another only detail, it is from right, it is from left, from right, but at this point here, yes, not there. It is will be left, it is will be right. It's metaphor, geometrical metaphor. What happened in a process of copy and reflection in mirror. But this is elements always must exist in unity, because it's content what not exist from another, but I'm can't exist without another. My copy, it is embodiment of myself. Yes, you remember from what we start here. Unity and struggle. That's why we illustrate this idea by idea of the mirror. the mirror, its illustration, this unity. Okay, what we find here, for example, as okay, if we talk about examples of the mirror or like synonymous speculative vision of dialectic contradictions, and we will talk about cultural or example from culture. We can talk about Christianity, for example, yes, or pagan religion. If we talk about Christianity, devil and God, the activity, essence of activity of devil, because he can't create something really. It is process imitation of the real activity of the God. That's why the devil is denied, it's negation of the essence of the God. The devil is like a liar, yes, and God, it is the first reality, it's original. It is something what we can name like a truth, first reality. Okay, the same idea we can find, of course, in pagan religion too, or mythology, firstly, of course. Son and father, the same idea. Father is first reality, son like a copy. And of course, we can find in cultures or in psychoanalysis too, these contradiction between Zeus and Kronos. You remember that Zeus is son of Kronos, but he killed Kronos, killed, right? Uh, and the situation of the Oedipus and Bucking and his father. Okay, and if we will use the same illustrate another idea, and we will use mass media, modern films. Of course, it's very famous film Harry Potter. And we usually game with my students in classworks when we try explain the essence of dialectic in this perspective with the sticks of these mags, yes, wizards, because the how would say the center of the magic stick of Harry Potter and how the name Voldemort, right? The center of these different sticks, the same. It's like mirror brothers. It is like brother. These sticks like a brothers. And you know that in essence of Harry Potter, it is the essence or soul, part of soul of Voldemort. That's why for liberation, the Harry Potter, he must be died by Voldemort because itself evil can like not real a real reality like illusion. Devil can kill only itself, and that's why the something real can have a liberation. We find the freedom only when the evil essence of mind do it with itself by its own elements and instruments. It is not my activity. I have only I give for evil only opportunity for self-killing. Okay, and PS for next very short lecture about what it means according with the history of philosophy and about the dialectic and its critics, how it work really in our history and history of philosophy. That's all. Thank you for your attention, and I hope it was interesting and maybe useful for you.